Hello and welcome all the hackers who are participating in the Radar Hackathon by Solana Foundation, which is powered by Colosseum. So, hi everyone, I am Sahil from QuickNode, and today I am here to talk about different Solana resources and tools which can help you do better or create your supercharged projects in the hackathon. So before starting, let me just introduce you with the support which we have for you all hackers for the hackathon. So during the course of hackathon, you will get around $300 worth of QuickNode plan or QuickNode credits per month for the upcoming 3 months. So that or those credits will be good for the highest self-service plan on QuickNode, which is the business plan, in which you will get 3 million API credits. You can make up to 20 RPC endpoints. And on top of that, you also get IPFS storage up to 10 GB. So you can store all your files, all your metadata files, your NFT assets, anything. So coming back to the resources part, you will get $300 per month. So the business plan is for $200. So what about the upcoming, or what about the remaining $100? So those you can use for all the extra or very powerful add-ons which we have on the QuickNode marketplace, using which you can do all kinds of operations. We will get into it in a while, but just to let you know, you can use that remaining $100 for those. So once you go into, or once you check out the doc, which is linked in the description below, you will see various Solana guides linked in the doc. You will see all the RPC docs linked as well. If you just want to use RPC, even that's fine for read and write operations. And then you will also find video tutorials linked below in the doc as well, which contains various videos like how to create your token, how to send your first transaction on Solana, how to create your trading bot on Solana, or even as simple as how to create a vanity wallet address on Solana. You'll find all kinds of videos in the linked videos over here. And not just that, if you are very new to the Solana ecosystem and want to learn how Solana works or how the development on Solana works, we also have an introductory Solana course where you will get introduction to Solana development. You can sign up for the course. It's completely free of charge, and you can learn Solana, become zero to hero in the Solana development by going through these course and other guides which are there on the guides platform. So those are the learning resources. And now talking about the power tools, or the tools which you can use in your projects. So coming to the tools, we obviously have the best-in-class Solana RPCs, which you can use to read data and write data from and off the Solana blockchain. We support all the native Solana endpoints or RPC endpoints. Along with that, we also have WebSocket. And if you already have your RPC sorted but need some testnet funds to deploy your test applications, we also have a multi-chain faucet, using which you can get your test solved on DevNet or testnet and deploy your applications or test your applications or testnet and DevNet. So coming back to our tools, we have various add-ons, which are some created by QuickNode team internally, some created by third parties or other tooling providers like Crossmint, CoinGecko, etc. So how you can use these add-ons is, first thing, you need a QuickNode account. And the second thing is you'll need a QuickNode RPC endpoint. If you do not have one already, what you can do is you can just go to your QuickNode account, verify your email address, and then click on create endpoint. Once you have done that, just click on Solana, then click on continue. And at this point, you will be asked to select a network, whether you are creating production level applications on mainnet or creating test applications before you want to move to mainnet, you can select your network based on your needs. And since you will be getting the business plan or the credits which will be good for the business plan with the promo which we have going on, or the support which we have going on for the hackathon, you can create multiple endpoints in the business plan. You can create one for mainnet, one for testnet, and one for devnet. So let's just see that if we were to create a mainnet endpoint, you can select mainnet as the network, then click continue. And once you click continue, you will be prompted to select an add-on to go with your endpoint. So based on your requirements, whether it is transactions, whether it's index data, infrastructure related, tokens, or NFTs related, you can select an add-on which suits your use cases. So once you have selected an add-on, let's say that you have selected this NFT tracking add-on, you can go through the different plans for that particular add-on and which RPC methods are included with that particular add-ons as well. What those RPC methods do, you can see them as well. And if you want to get more details into those particular add-ons, you can always go to the linked docs for those particular RPC methods. And once you are satisfied and have checked everything, click on install. It's just like installing an app from your app store. So once you have explored the add-on and you are certain that you want to use that add-on, just click on install, and then you'll have to create the endpoint. And then your endpoint will be created, which will look something like this. So once your endpoint is created, you will get a HTTP as well as WebSocket provider. HTTP provider for your normal sending transactions, fetching block data, fetching transaction data, etc. But if you were to put a filter on chain or a listener on chain, let's say that you want to get notified whenever a particular Solana program executes a certain instruction, and you want to get that data, you want to track that instruction execution, you will be able to do that using those WebSocket providers. You can basically put any kind of filters on chain, and as soon as that filters condition is satisfied, you'll get the output or notification. So those are what WebSocket providers are there for. They are there to create a duplex connection with the client machine, which will be usually your machine or a script running on your side or any cloud service which you are opting for, and the actual blockchain node creates a duplex connection, two-way communication between the blockchain node and the client machine. So once you are there, you will also get few resources in here, like how to get started with Solana Web3.js, some sample projects, and some instructions on how to deploy your first programs, etc. And you can also install the add-ons from this dashboard as well. You'll just have to click the add-ons tab which you are seeing over here, and once you go in there, you will find the installed add-ons if there are any, and then the list of add-ons which can be installed on your endpoint. So as you can see, we have all of these endpoints, which are all of these add-ons which are not installed on our endpoint yet. So let's say that I wanted this Solana DAS API add-on. If I wanted to install this, I can click on explore and install for free. Some of the add-ons will be available for free, but obviously we'll have lower rate limits, etc. But some of the add-ons will be available for a cost. So as you can see, this says already activated. And once it's already activated, you'll find it under the installed add-ons section over here. All right, so this is how you install an add-on. And now let's take a look at how you would use some of the add-ons. So first, we will take a look at the Metis add-on, which is a Jupyter Swap V6 API add-on. So using this add-on, basically what you can do is you can get prices for your swaps. You can get the best possible routes and best possible quotes for your swaps on the Solana network. And you can also send transactions. So how you can use this add-on is basically just go to the documentation, navigate to the chains and RPC REST API section, navigate to Solana, and under there you will find HTTP methods, WebSocket methods, and marketplace add-ons. So you'll need to go to marketplace add-on, find the add-on which you want to use, and then you can explore different kinds of functionalities or methods that particular add-on supports. Let's check code REST API endpoint from the Metis Jupyter Swap API. So what this method helps us do is sends a GET request to the Jupyter API to get the best priced quotes for our token swaps. So as you can see over here, we are sending the quote method request to the Jupyter API with 2 tokens to swap for. The first one is this wrapped sol token mint address, which will be our input token. And the next token will be our output token, which we want our wrapped sol to be swapped with. And the amount will be the amount of sol or wrapped sol we want to swap with another token. And in return, what we will get is the slippage, we will get the swap mode, we will get the dexes for best routes, and we will also get the best quotes or prices from those dexes. Let's see how that works so that it's a little bit more clear. Okay, so as you can see that we have got the output, and this should be our best possible code for swapping this particular token, which is wrapped sol, with this particular token. So this is how you can use Metis API. This was an example for the quote method, but similarly you can use the price method, you can use the swap method. All right, so as I can see, there are a few questions. So let's go to, or let's address those questions before we move forward. All right, so the question is, I am making a real-time game that uses video. How would I use QuickNode for that? So I'm assuming that you are making that game on the Solana blockchain. And yes, because this is a game, the data latency or the data which you get from the blockchain has to be very quick. The latency between your client machine or your client script and the blockchain node should be very less. So in this scenarios, using the HTTP provider from QuickNode, which we saw over here, HTTP endpoint provider, using that to interact with the blockchain will be very beneficial. And if you're just getting the block data, if you're just getting the transaction data, you will be able to, or you should be doing that using the HTTP provider because it will be very fast. Plus the benefit is you will get all the real-time data, top of the tip data. And the QuickNode RPC endpoints are built in such a way that it will detect your location using a smart DNS routing layer, which we have built in under the hood. So it will detect your servers or your game users location, and wherever that request is coming from to the RPC, it will route that request to the nearest possible facility of QuickNode and serve the request from there. And there are few other load balancing checks which also happens after that particular DNS routing part. So you can just rest assured that you will be served with the best possible or lowest possible latency in the industry for your Solana RPC endpoints on QuickNode. So real-time, yes. Games, yes. And I'm assuming that since it's a game, it will have some digital assets as well. So for those, what you could use is you could use APIs like NFT tracking API on the QuickNode marketplace. You can use Solana name service API. You can use cross-mint API. For example, using the cross-mint API, cross-mint NFT mint API, you can easily mint NFTs via API for your users. And once they are minted, you can track those NFTs, their ownership, their analytics, everything using the NFT tracking ownership API from blockchain API on the QuickNode marketplace. And if your users, and I mean, a lot of the times for social applications like gaming or social media, some developers or some founders might also apply or might also integrate Solana naming service from Bonfida. So if you have that integrated, you can use the Solana name service API to get or to interact with the SNS of Bonfida. So you will get all of these RPC methods where you can get all the names or domains registered for a particular wallet address or owner. You can get domain records, you can get their history, you can get their subdomains, everything. So I hope that answered your question. And let's see if we have any other question. So the next question is, can I retrieve the complete transaction history of a Solana wallet, including the prices of the asset at time of transaction? So the answer is yes, you definitely can. So to get the transaction history, you will have to get the Solana accounts, and by getting the Solana accounts, you will get their transaction history. And to get their current assets, you can use any of these APIs like NFT tracking API, or you can even use CoinGecko's price tracking API or Forex API to get those assets or those tokens real time prices with any fiat currency or with any other token as well. Let's say that you want to, let's say that you hold some Bonk tokens and you want to get those Bonk tokens worth in Jupe token of Jupiter. You will be able to do that with CoinGecko's price feed API, where you can supply one token and you can also supply another ticker of another token to check for a token's price in the worth or in the value of another token. Or you can even do that for fiat currencies as well. So I hope that answered your question. And coming back to Metis, we saw that how we can get the quotes for our swaps. And once you have the best possible quotes for your token swaps on Solana, you will need to make sure that your transaction goes through, right? You need to make sure that your transaction is in the priority list or in the list where the slot leaders can actually see your transaction and give priority to your transaction, pick up those transactions, validate that, and add that into the block. So to do that, what we can do is we can use a priority fee API from QuickNode. Yes, there is a default priority fee API on the Solana mainnet as well, which is get recent prioritization fees. But the thing with this is, using this, you will get the general Solana prioritization fee for the entire network. But sometimes entire network's traffic can differ from a particular region or a particular program, right? So what we need is, we need specific and very granular priority fee for interacting with a specific smart contract or programs on Solana. So what you can do with QuickNode's priority fee API is, first thing, you can mention the last n number of blocks which you want to evaluate the priority fee for. And then the best part is, you can also mention a program ID or account of a particular program, so that, let's say that if you are making a swap using Radium DEX, or let's say you are making a swap using Jupiter. So what you can do is, you can mention that particular DEX's or that particular protocol's program ID in the account, and then you can mention the number of blocks you want to average the program priority fee for that particular program, and you will get different tiers of priority fee. So without talking more, let's actually see how that's done. So I already have that priority fee API, by the way, installed on my endpoint, which is this endpoint. So that's why, or that's how I can use that. So if I go back, I mean, I'll just have to replace this because that was a devnet endpoint and we want to check for the mainnet. So if I copy this, let me just clear this, paste the curl request. So what we are basically doing over here is we are sending a request to the QuickNode RPC endpoint for a specialized method which gets enabled once you have the priority fee API enabled on your endpoint, which is QN_estimate priority fees. And in parameters, we have said that give me average priority fee for the past 100 blocks from the current latest block. And this will be the program, or this will be the program ID or the account of the program which I will be interacting with. So once you send the request, we should get the priority fees for various tiers. So as you can see over here, we get priority fee per compute unit as well as per transaction. And on top of that, we get different tiers of priority. If you want to send your transaction with extreme priority, for example, for the previous questions, let's say that it's a game, so the transactions need to go very swiftly. For those kind of scenarios, or where the transactions need to go immediately, you can use the extreme priority fee tier, which is this is per compute unit. Make sure that you are sending, or you are calculating the compute units properly and multiplying this to your compute units and then sending the transaction. And then there is high, low, and medium. And these are the percentiles, like what's the priority percentiles for that particular account. And same goes for transaction as well. The above were per compute unit tiers, and this is per transaction tier. So this basically helps you to send your transaction with most accurate. I won't say completely accurate because it keeps changing based on the demand. So I'll say the most accurate, towards the most accurate, or towards the actual accurate. You'll get those fees and send the transaction with that accuracy. So this will basically help you to get your transaction in the priority lane or in the priority list of the slot leaders, so that your transactions can get discovered quickly and get validated quickly. So after that, let's see that if you have NFTs on your marketplace, or if you have NFTs in your games, or if you have NFTs in general, how you would be able to get those data. So for that, we have this Solana DAS API, or Digital Assets Standard API, which is a digital standard made by Metaplex. So using this API, you can basically get any kinds of assets which are held by a particular wallet address, along with your compressed NFTs. So let's say that I wanted to get a particular asset. I wanted to get that asset's metadata, or all kind of information about that particular asset. So I'll just use this get asset RPC method. I'll just copy this, go back to the code editor, and I will replace the devnet endpoint with the mainnet endpoint, because we want to check for the assets on mainnet, not devnet. So the documentation will always have the devnet endpoints for your own security, because some of the methods will be send transactions method, and you might end up spending sol for those particular RPC methods. So that's why, for your own safety and for extra steps in safeguarding your tokens, the documentation will always have the devnet endpoints. So going back to our code example, and now let's go to terminal, paste this. So I'm just adding this extra flag. You must have noticed with the other two or previous two examples as well that I'm adding this dash, vertical dash, and JSON underscore PP as an extra flag. So this basically structures your request like in a proper JSON format in your terminal, nothing extra. So what we are basically doing over here is we are sending the get asset custom RPC request to our QuickNode RPC endpoint and passing this particular asset ID as the parameter. So what this should do is give us all the metadata around that particular asset. As you can see, we have got that. So we get the data, we get the URIs. So if you open this, you should get the NFT asset. So as you can see, it looks like this, hosted on Arweave. So yes, this is how you can use the Solana DAS API or Digital Asset Standard API. And for everyone who is dealing with compressed NFTs, this API can be a boon. And the next one is the latest offering or the latest product from the QuickNode's in-house team, which is the Jito API, which is Jito bundles and transactions API, which helps you interact with the Jito protocol on the Solana blockchain. Using this API, you can basically get bundles information, you can send bundles with tips, you can get tips accounts, you can simulate a bundle, etc. So once you have this add-on installed and you send bundles using that add-on to the Jito protocol, what you can do is you can also track those bundles. So for that, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to the add-ons section. You'll have to again go to the installed add-ons section and then look at the Jito bundles and transactions API. Click on these three dots over here and then click on dashboard. So once you click on dashboard, the platform will automatically single sign up you or SSO you into the Jito bundles dashboard, where you will be able to see all the bundles which you have sent. And once you start sending the bundles, it'll look something like this, which you see on the image on the right hand side over here. So now to use this, it's similar or very similar to the previous examples, whatever we saw. So you just have to send a custom RPC request to your QuickNode endpoint. So let's say that we want to get the tip accounts. So what you will do is you will basically just copy the request and go to code editor, because as mentioned earlier, we will need to replace the temnet endpoint with the mainnet endpoint. So let's copy this, go to our terminal, paste it, adding that flag for purification of JSON output. So we are basically sending get tip accounts custom RPC method request to our QuickNode RPC endpoint. And once you execute that, you will get the output like this. So these are the tip accounts. So this is how you can use the Jito bundles and transaction API. And another best part about the QuickNode documentation is you can copy the code examples as it is for a lot of, or basically for each and every RPC endpoints or even REST endpoint methods. For example, for Jupyter V6 swap API, these are REST methods, not RPC methods. So yeah, so I was saying that you can basically just copy these scripts from the documentation, and along with that, you get various language supports for each and every method. Let's say that you want to use Solana client in Rust. Let's say that you want to use Solana Web3.js. You will get examples in those. For your standard RPC methods, you'll get even more options like Ruby, Python, etc. So hope this was helpful. And we have all the resources talked about or displayed or demoed in this video linked in the description below. In this document, this document will be linked in the description below. And again, if you want to sign up for the support package which we have for you all hackers, you can just click on that link, fill out this form, and we will reach out to you with the package. And while using QuickNode or any of these listed APIs, or if you just have like a normal general question around Web3 development during your hackathon or even after, you can reach out to us on our Discord, which will be again linked in the description below, or even on Twitter, anywhere. So we have sorted out some useful resources for you, which we thought will be helpful for you directly based on different domains of development in the Solana ecosystem, which you will again find in the document link in the description below. So that will be it from this workshop. All the best with your hacking. So thank you everyone, and happy hacking.